If you're a woman over 40 who's struggling to lose weight and the pounds refuse to come off, regardless of what you try, this episode might be interesting to you. Today, I'm going to tell you the 5 hard truths about why you can't lose weight. 2 of these are what everyone blames and thinks are the problem, but they're actually not. And then the 5th one is the hard truth that no one else wants to say. Because what you think is the problem isn't the problem at all. If you listened to last week's episode, The Psychology of Emotional Eating, what your body language and behavior are trying to say, this is exactly what I was talking about. How your posture and your habits, your inner dialogue, they're all just these subconscious red flags. So this episode is the why behind those patterns. These 5 truths, they're going to explain why the weight is not coming off, why you're actually still stuck, like that weight is still stuck. I'm your host, Holly Bertone. I'm a former FBI Chief of Staff for Counterintelligence turned emotional eating profiler and coach, and I help women over 40 break free from emotional eating so they can achieve a healthy and sustainable weight. The universal anthem for women in their 40s and 50s is, I've tried everything, but this stubborn weight won't budge. And maybe that's you. Maybe you are a founding member of the sisterhood, or maybe you're new to the club. And I'm here to tell you that sometimes the lies and the truths have been right in front of us the entire time. So let's start with number 1, and that is your age and metabolism. Okay, fact. Your metabolism can slow down as you age if you're not doing the right things to protect it. And because we are all a product of the diet culture from the 80s and 90s, those habits are really hard to break. And chances are you have been loyal to this approach for decades. And I respect that. Like, you've given it everything. So let me ask you this. Are you trying to eat less and move more so that you can lose weight? Are you counting calories and points? Are you negotiating with food? I'm not going to eat this so I can eat that. Are you telling yourself that you're either being good or being bad based on those food decisions? And then what does this typically look like? I'm having a salad for lunch, therefore I'm good and I can have dessert later. Now, I want you to get really quiet and just get really present and honest with yourself. How many years have you been following this process of eating less, moving more, or calorie in, calorie out, or counting points or counting macros? And how much weight have you actually been able to lose and to keep off? What does that voice say when you are actually being honest with yourself? And between us girls, it is totally okay if you're feeling some resistance with being that honest with yourself, or if you're feeling some shame or some guilt. It is totally natural. And especially since you have been working so hard to lose weight. But here's the thing. Do you think it's time to start acknowledging that this doesn't work anymore? In fact, restricting calories, it's actually harming your midlife metabolism. Your body thinks that it's starving, so it's going to hold on to those fat cells for dear life. It is not going to let go. Your weight is not caused by your age or whether you're in perimenopause or menopause. And it is possible to get your metabolism to actually work to burn that fat instead of store it. Number 2 is our hormones. And we love to blame our hormones for the weight gain because they're the easiest scapegoat. Oh, what did they ever do to deserve it? There's a great book called The Great Menopause Myth by my friends Maria Claps and Kristen Johnson. They're 2 of the world's top experts in menopause and hormones. And you want to know one of the first things that they say in the book. That even before you start thinking about optimizing your hormones, that the first place that you need to focus on is your lifestyle. Because when your life is chaos and your lifestyle is chaos, your hormones are chaos. And when your lifestyle and your hormones are chaos, that weight isn't budging. And by the way, I'll be sure to leave a link to the book in the show notes if you want to check it out. Okay, number 3 is stress and cortisol. Think about it from this perspective, is that we are juggling more responsibilities in those years between, I'd say, 35 to 65-ish than we do in the years before and after. It is literally it's just a fact of life. Those are the prime years where our focus is just completely pulled in different directions. We've got career and family and aging parents and even divorce and empty nest and all the things. And every single one of these, they need to have our undivided attention. Like, we can't drop any of the balls. And the result is this level of just this bone-crushing tired that doesn't go away. Like, you wake up and you already feel like you just ran a marathon. So what do? We blame stress. We blame increased cortisol for weight gain, which is legit. Like, if we were to play a game of rock, paper, scissors, you got rock, paper, scissors, right? And you've got nutrition and exercise and stress. Stress is going to win every single time. You can have your nutrition and exercise completely dialed in. But if you are in a heightened state of stress and increased cortisol, you're not going to be able to lose weight. It's as simple as that. But here's something that I want you to think about. How many times have you said that you're going to start that diet or get back into shape after things calm down, or after that big project at work, or after the school year ended, or after your kid graduated? And how many times has something always come up? And again, I want you to go to that place where you can be truly honest with yourself. Ask yourself these questions. Is there a realistic chance that this stress is ever going to ease up in the foreseeable future? My guess is the answer is probably no. Your demanding lifestyle, it's going to be a reality for a while, like maybe even years. So instead of just kicking that can down the road, maybe it's time to consider, how can I navigate stress differently so that it doesn't have a hold on me? Which, by the way, is one of the things that we address inside of the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator, because this is such an important part of regulating your nervous system. Number 4 is sleep. If we were to add up the first 3, the metabolism, hormones, and stress, guess where that leads us? Sleep, or lack thereof. So when your metabolism and your hormones and your stress, when they are in chaos, your sleep is going to be in chaos. And when you don't get a good night's sleep, well, I don't have to tell you what that looks like. You're going to wake up exhausted, and then you wake up exhausted so you don't work out, and then you're craving comfort junk food all day long, no matter what you eat. So you're not sleeping, you're not working out, you're eating junk food, and then it quickly becomes this vicious cycle. And what do we do to respond to that exhaustion? That brings us to number 5. Number 5, you are still eating like it is 1999, because it is 2000 party over, oops, at a time. You are fueling your 40-something or 50-something body with the habits of your 25-year-old self. The Diet Cokes, the drive-thrus, the sad little salads, the protein bars, thinking you are quote-unquote being good. You believe the hype that it's calorie in, calorie out. So you eat these things to stay in a calorie deficit. Or maybe you've got so much going on that you just forget to eat during the day. And the fact is, you are halfway there and living on a prayer, because you are actually underfeeding yourself. You are undernourishing yourself. And then, because of this, by the end of the night, you're emotionally and physically starving. So you just eat all of the cookies and chips in sight. And then you wonder, why is the scale not budging? And/or you eat beyond when you actually feel full, because there's this emotional need that isn't being met. And you need to feel it, you need to process it in some capacity. And junk food and processed food, it does a great job in filling that void. It actually helps you to take the edge off. And/or You think you're eating less when you're actually eating more. There's a study in the New England Journal of Medicine, and they found that obese adults reported, and they actually underestimated 47 to 50% of their calorie intake. 47 to 50%. There's another study in PubMed that found women underreport their calorie intake more than men, and those with a higher BMI underreport more than leaner people. So the weight loss equation, it is a lot more complicated than calorie in, calorie out. But this matters because there is a huge difference between eating 1,500 calories a day and 3,000 calories a day. And there is a huge difference in what those calories actually are. Being overweight, it doesn't always mean that you're eating too much. You might even be eating too little. You might be completely undernourished. It could be for a variety of different reasons. It's not black and white. It's not cut and dry. But at the end of the day, one of the biggest reasons that you are not losing weight is because it is impossible to out-hustle those decades of processed food and undernourishment. So those are the 5 hard truths about why you're not losing weight. We've got age and metabolism, hormones, stress and cortisol, sleep, and eating like it's 1999. And by now you might be wondering, okay, Holly, so what am I supposed to do? Well, I'm going to give you 2 different answers. You're going to get the official holistic health coach answer and the emotional eating profiler coach answer. And both of these are accurate. You get to decide which lands best for you. So let's start with the official holistic health coach answer. And that is to get your nutrition and lifestyle factors dialed in. But if you want the TLDR, it is creating a new relationship with stress, since that stress is not going away. It's committing to getting a good night's sleep. It's getting sunlight every day. It's getting movement and exercise every day. You want to incorporate strength training 2 to 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. And then your nutrition. Over 2/3 of women are deficient in protein by 50%. So you want to eat 1 gram of protein per ideal pound of body weight. So let's say you want to weigh 130 pounds. Aim for 120, 130 grams of protein a day. Simple math. I can even do that math. So cut the sugar, cut the alcohol, cut the diet, cut the fast food, cut the convenient food that's advertised as healthy, like Panera and those bars and those shakes, and eat real whole food and eat more protein. It is literally that simple. The basics work. But here's the problem. The majority of you are probably going to poo-poo the basics. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to go on another diet. Or, yeah, I tried this. The basics don't work for me. Well, this is where Spicy Holly comes in. And I am just going to say it. How long did it take you to get to the weight that you're at? How long have you been there? And do you honestly think this is some kind of quick fix that's just going to be completely resolved in a month? No, it is going to take some time. And chances are you have had good intentions. You've started and quit, started and quit, started and quit. Brings me to the second answer, where I put on the emotional eating profiler coach hat. Okay, your brain operates from 2 systems. System 1 is the limbic system. This is fast and emotional and automatic. That's the part of your brain. System 1 is the limbic system. System 2 is your prefrontal cortex. This is slow and logical. This is the strategic part of your brain. System 2 is your prefrontal cortex. So if you are emotionally eating, if you're stress eating, if you're mindlessly snacking, if you're overeating, this is a system 1 problem. It is done automatically, it is done emotionally, and it is done without even thinking. But when it comes to dieting and counting calories and points and macros and taking supplements or pills, everything that the diet industry pushes on you, do you think that's system 1, which is emotional and automatic, or system 2, which is logical and strategic? Yeah, the diet industry, it pushes that system 2 solution. Even what I just shared with you from that back to basics approach, they are system two solutions. So, what do you think happens when you try to solve a system one problem that's automatic and emotional with a system two solution that is logical and strategic? And I've used this analogy before. It is like getting out a spoon to hammer a nail into a wall. Like, you're just using the wrong tool, and you've been using the wrong tool for decades. And the truth of the matter is, no diet on the planet is ever going to fix that emotional eating that's going on in the background. But when you can get to the other side, when you can actually break free from emotional eating, when you can break free from letting food have that much control over you, that is freedom, my friend. That is when all of those system two solutions actually start to work. And not just work, this is how you maintain a healthy weight. This is how you become the woman who never stresses about what she's going to eat or going on a diet ever again. I mean, think about it. What would your life actually look like if you never had to do this yo-yo diet back and forth thing ever again? And that's what I help my students do inside the Break Emotional Eating Accelerator. And if you want a head start on this, I've got a free training. It gives you the 3 FBI-inspired strategies that you need to eliminate cravings and mindless snacking and the emotional eating triggers without the diets, without counting calories, without relying on willpower. It is truly that simple. If you're smart and successful in all other areas of your life, but food still has that control over you, and no matter how disciplined you are, those cravings still win. If that sounds like you, this free training, it might be really interesting to you. The link will also be in the notes below. So there you have it. My hope is that this helps you to learn the 5 hard truths about why you can't lose weight. My name is Holly Bertone. I'm your emotional eating profiler and coach, and I'll see you next week.